demands. Number one.
We control the werewolf, not you.
Number two, nobody dies.
And unlimited potions.
Yes.
So, everyone who may be watching, help everyone else out there rediscover the show. We're going to start properly in about 4 minutes. Just whilst we're doing this, because we are all improvisers here, I think we should go round and just give some pointless information
You're not recording.
What?
You're not recording.
Well,
it's shared online.
Yeah, it's live online. But I will click record. We've just transferred the power back from Ernest Best over to me. So now I am recording again. I thank you there, Morty, for that very important information. But just whilst we're giving the audience a chance to rediscover the show, first of all, let's check audio. Can everyone just quickly say hello?
Hello.
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 Okay.
Hello.
Hello, Watchers of Illusion. I'm sick of that word already.
Follow me on
Yay,
Instagram.
you can be heard. So let's very quickly, starting with Dr. Colin Phillips, let's go round everyone, and if you could just tell someone some interesting fact you've learnt during the last 5 minutes where we were shut down off the stream.
I learned that there were some outtakes with Michael J. Fox in that film.
The Frighteners.
He brought it to my head and made my head do this.
I told everyone that I'm wearing tenor lady.
So the outtake is actually from the film The Frighteners, and he calls the cowboy guy Doc. It's hilarious. Right. I'm Philip Diamond.
Yes.
I learned I may have a hemorrhoid.
Oh, that sucks.
I learned nothing.
That was my line.
I once saw a werewolf with a Chinese menu in their hand walking through the streets of Soho in the rain.
Wow, that's very
I hope
interesting
somebody got that
stuff.
reference.
So, audience, we are back. Welcome to Revenge of the Werewolf. I can confirm that we are now audibly visible to you, if that makes sense. It doesn't. But
audibly visible, David.
I know. You should be able to hear us is the point. So if you want to help us, because obviously we just had a technical issue, it happens to the best of us, nothing to be ashamed of, then you can help us by sharing the stream. So if you're watching on facebook.com/Extreme Improv, just somewhere down at the bottom of the screen, underneath the video, there will be a share button. If you click share, it will help us gather a few more in our audience. If you want people to share it from youtube.com/Extreme Improv, that would be great, or twitch.tv/Extreme Improv. Now, we had some wonderful introductions before that clearly could never be replicated to the same quality. But we're going to try. Let's meet all of our cast of characters one more time, starting with Dr. Colin Phillips.
Hello, I am Dr. Colin Phillips, and I am the local GP for this village.
Okie dokie. Next up, let's meet Ernest Best. Say hello to the people.
Hello to the people. I'm Ernest Best. I used to be quite powerful in this town, but then I got into trouble and now I just drink.
Okie dokie. Next up, let's meet Millennial. Let's say hello.
I'm a Instagram influencer, I guess you would say, but very upset because Papa, Dr. Phillips, who you've already met, told me that I couldn't get a car this year because of COVID.
Oh dear. So next up, we are going to meet Philip Diamond. We've got a couple of Philips on the show tonight. So Philip Diamond, say hello to the people.
I'm Philip Diamond from Rhode Island. I'm actually a tourist, so I probably won't be here that long, so don't get too confused. And what was it? I bought this pipe. That's right, I said that before. I bought this pipe, and I love it. It's delightful.
Okie dokie. Next up, let us meet where there's Morty. Morty, say hello to the people. You look like you've got a lot to tell them.
Can you hear me clearly?
What?
Can you hear me?
Pardon? Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, I'm Maury, and I'm like the village everyman. I help out when anybody needs help, and I do Santa Claus, and I don't do Santa Claus. I mean, I play Santa Claus sometimes at Christmas.
Okay, next up, we are going to have to meet. Where are you? Old Man Whistlesnail. Say hello.
Hello, good to see you. I'm coming. Can you hear me now?
We can.
Yes, the internet in my cave isn't great. So I hope you can hear and see me okay.
Yes, absolutely.
I just live in a cave.
I understand this. It's quite dark there. Ms. Jessamine Grumpthrottle, say hello to the people.
Oh, good evening, friends. Yes, I am the village librarian. I hope you've given back all your books and paid any late fines.
Well, some of us may be guilty of that. But last but certainly not least, we're going to beat Bear. Say hello to the people.
Hey everyone, I'm Bear, local pastor, currently unemployed, real name unknown, and just a general party animal. Yeah, but not a werewolf.
Okay, so audience, one of the characters you have just met is a werewolf. They don't know this yet, but they are going to find out very soon as we go to night phase. Throughout the show, you'll notice at the bottom of your screen there is a notice board. Throughout the show, give us your thoughts. Tell us who you suspect of being the werewolf. Tell us which one you think we should vote to kill off. Vigilante style, who should we execute to try to save the rest of us? Audience, you will be helping us throughout this show. But we are going to
you all.
Yes, we are going to go to the night phase now. During the night phase, I will roll this dice, and one of them, going by the number, will be assigned as the werewolf. They will then communicate directly to me on your Zoom chat. Do not be a JJ. Do not write directly to everyone. Just make sure you comment directly to me. Hello, JJ. I know you're watching as well. But do not comment publicly. Make sure you protect the secret if you are the werewolf with your life. Do not reveal it to anyone. Once you have been assigned as the werewolf, then communicate to me who you would like as your first victim. So, as we go to the night phase, one last thing I need to let our cast of characters know. Audience, you'll see on the right hand side of the screen there are 4 bottles filled with green liquid. These are protection spells. They can be used by anyone except for the werewolf during the night. And if you want to use a protection spell to protect you from any potential wolf attacks, you must send me a private message on the Zoom chat that says protect me. You can use them during the day if you think you're under immediate threat of death, but otherwise, everyone, stop your video and let's go to the night phase.
Night, everyone. Sleep well.
Sleep well, everyone
I'm not even
out
tired
there.
yet. I'm still on East Coast time.
That's no worries. So, audience, I have rolled the dice. I have absolutely now got a selection of who is the werewolf, and I will be communicating with them momentarily to let them know that you are the wolf. Once you found out you are the wolf, make sure that you communicate back to me privately. So make sure it doesn't go out to everyone. It just goes back to me, and that you confirm that you are in fact the werewolf. So that person now has that message, and I'm just going to wait to see who they would like to select as their first victim. So, once you have chosen a victim werewolf, okay, performers, this is your last chance to choose within the next few seconds if anyone would like protection tonight. There are only 4 protection spells throughout the entire show. And Wakey, wakey, everyone, come on back. Everyone, come on back.
Morning.
Okay, so it is a bright and beautiful morning. A little bit of drizzle, a little bit of rain in the air. So, unfortunately, I've got some bad news to share with you. First of all, when I look across, I see that a protection spell has been used. A protection spell has been used up, but it hasn't protected someone. Someone who didn't protect themselves, unfortunately, got selected. Millie Enniel, unfortunately, you have been slain. You have been killed off. This hideous beast out there, the werewolf, has got you. There is a wolf amongst us. Audience, look at the faces of the people here. One of them, during the night, killed off Millie Enniel. But fortunately, due to my psychic ability from beyond the grave, we can now hear from Millie. Tell the people, how do you feel from beyond the grave?
Well, quite happy actually. I think I'll get more Instagram followers now that I'm dead. That's how the artists become famous, isn't it? So I'm actually okay with it.
Okay, so what's going to happen now, everyone out there at Audience Land? You will have an opportunity. Ask questions to any of the performers, any of the characters. Ask any question you would like. We're going to go around and ask some questions to each of the... each of the people are going to get a chance to ask a question to someone else. If you have any questions that you would like to ask any of them to help you figure out who may be the werewolf, put them into the comments section now. We're going to start with Dr. Colin Phillips. Who would you like to ask a question to?
Well, this is tragic, but I would like to ask a question to Jessamine. Jessamine, if I just get your attention.
Yes, darling. Hello, welcome.
I understand you like to write, so what would you put in my daughter's obituary?
Oh, well, I guess I'd put rented out Jane Eyre 9 or 10 times, Pride and Prejudice maybe 5 times, and had an unpaid bill of £10 and 50 pence, which the library still will take, if that's okay, Dr. Phillips.
Okay, next up, we are going to ask Ernest Best. Who would you like to ask a question to? Oh, hang on, before we do, I can sense some dark magic that I didn't forget earlier. The dark magic has, unfortunately, befallen Morty. Morty, with the roll of the dice, you have been selected, and I can confirm that throughout the remainder of this day, you will only be able to speak in 2-syllable words. Everything you say has to be 2-syllable words. If at any point you say a single-syllable word or 3 or more syllable words, you will be silenced for the rest of the day. Ernest, who would you like to ask your question to?
I don't know. Bear, I suppose.
Yeah.
Bear, what did you put in that drink last night? My head's absolutely...
What did I put in the drink?
Yeah, do you usually put things in people's drinks?
Jack and Coke, that's all. Hey, if you can't take your drink, then that's not my problem.
Okay, next up we are going to come to From Beyond the Grave. Millie, can you still hear us?
I can, darling, I can. Yeah.
Who would you like to ask a question to?
Oh, good question. Bear, actually. I'd like to ask him a question. Can you still deliver me that LSD despite me being dead? Just drop it at my grave, okay? Already paid for.
Will do. On the way.
Interesting stuff. Next up, we are going to come to Philip Diamond from Rhode Island. Who would you like to ask your one question to?
Well, let's I'm gonna go with Ernest Best. If I can. Ernest, you look dour. You look really dour. Is there something bothering you? Because I kept seeing you hit the bottle there, sir, and I've seen this happen with my father in Rhode Island 32 years ago.
Well, I can't speak for your father. I don't know him, but you know, when I used to be a parliamentary person around here. I was the MP for this town, and something kind of bad happened, and oh no! If what happened to me had happened to you, you'd be hitting the source as well.
Okay, interesting stuff. We have some questions and thoughts coming up from the audience section. We'll just have a quick look at some of these. First of all, JJ responds, improv is about making mistakes and not being blamed. No one was blaming you for putting out a public message last week. We're just humorously remembering it.
Stating facts.
Yes, exactly. And he says he may write a book about it. But he does ask, please ask Morty, what was he doing last night?
Oh, reading.
Yes, we believe you there. Reading a book, no doubt. Next up, though, we are going to come to Morty. Who would you like to ask your question to?
Whittle. Also Bongo.
Yes. Hello, Morty. How are you, sir?
Jealous?
Oh, no. I have the finest beard in the village. I can't be jealous. Are you still on about the beard? Oh, Morty, you never change.
Okay.
Okay. So, next up...
Sorry.
The question was jealous. So, Old Man, Whittlesnail, and Bongo, who would you like to ask a question to, and what is it?
I would like to commune with the deceased, if that's possible.
Certainly, we will use our collective psychic powers to do so.
Millennial, if you could hear me, I just wondered why you stopped coming to me for your LSD.
I got a better deal, to be honest, and Bongo gives me the creeps.
Oh, he's sad now, look.
Oh,
I'm a cat person.
Okay, next up we are going to come to Ms. Jessamine Grumpthrottle. Who would you like to ask your question to?
Why, I would like to ask my question to Mr. Mortimer, aka Morty.
What is your question?
My question is, Mr. Mortimer, I respect your use of my library. As you said, you were reading last night, but can I ask, why are you taking out various copies of Scientifica Britannica?
Secrets.
I see.
Interesting stuff. Man, a few words there. Having a look over at the comment section, I can see that we have someone else called Bear in the comment section. And they've said that Andrew is best. That's very interesting. That is very interesting. Let's see what else we've got. We've got comments which says, reading, hilarious, from Svengali on Periscope. So they've got their Periscope up somewhere. Nikki Smith on Facebook suspects that Aaron is probably the werewolf. So audience, if you've got any suspicions, do let them be known. Okay, so with that, who hasn't asked their question? Bear, you have yet to ask your question.
Yes, I would like to ask Philip Diamond from Rhode Island.
Rhode Island, yes.
Yes, and not to sound like a xenophobe, but you are new in town, and this killing happened very recently.
Oh yes, it did. Very much so.
I don't know. I don't know who you are.
Well, like I said, I'm Philip Diamond from Rhode Island, and I come from a salt family, and I'm just here to inspect the wide natures of your land and maybe find some new salt.
Okay, interesting stuff. I would just remind our audience, if you have any questions for people, you need to direct them to a specific character. Bear, you've asked a question, but I don't know who you asked it to. So, with that, we will now have 2 minutes of open conversation. There will be 2 minutes of open conversation where anyone can say anything they want to anyone else as they further try to suss out which one of them is the werewolf. Begin.
Philip Diamond, didn't
Yeah.
you say you're still on Rhode Island time? How much
I am very
time is
much
that
so.
difference?
About 5 hours.
You would have been awake then? Did you hear any screaming?
I had my ear pods in. I was just testing them out. I got them finally. They got in through the hotel here, so...
Very convenient.
Yeah, very convenient, but that's just how life works.
Why would you have some kind of pod in your ear?
Oh, to listen to my current podcast, interviews, and more interviews, the study of the interview.
Interviews?
Yes, it's a professor from DeVry University. He started a podcast and become quite attached to it.
Yeah. Podcast.
Any person werewolf?
Oh, Morty, up to your old tricks again, eh? You must stop by for a drink sometime.
Scientifically impossible for anyone to be a werewolf.
What?
Well, Father, someone's a werewolf.
That was something a werewolf might say.
Well,
This is real, right? There's actually a werewolf here. There's not some person just like cutting throats with a blade. This is real. We're talking about.
That's what I was thinking.
Indeed.
I mean, we've all cut a throat here and there, but never as a werewolf.
I'm curious, Bear, you said, I heard that you were supplying my daughter with LSD. Where did you get that from?
I got the LSD from my nightclub days, and I've just had a stash for ages. I need to get rid of it. I don't even know if it's good anymore.
Dr. Phillips, you don't seem to be very upset. Your daughter's died. You don't seem to be very upset.
If you need a new home for that LSD, by the way.
And that is the end of the 2 minutes of open discussion. Audience, we will have one more interaction. Just having a quick look here. Let's see what we've got. Please ask the doctor whether anyone has asked for help of a hirsute nature. I don't know what that means. Hirsute? What? Well, I assume the doctor would understand this question.
I'm afraid no one has come to my office in the last week, which is why I'm quite concerned if there's death going around, that no one is coming to me for health advice. Interesting.
Bear also wants to ask the old man, who pissed in the sink?
That was Bongo.
Sorry. Okay, there we go. Oh, he means hairy. Has anyone asked help of a hairy nature?
As I said, no one has come to my office for a week, so... Plus, it will break HIPAA violations if I was to answer that question.
Okay, we will now have one final interaction, which with the roll of the dice, I can now reveal will be between Old Man, Whittlesnail, and Bear. If everyone else can stop their video, we'll have a 1 minute final interaction, which will provide clues who or who may not be a werewolf. Take it away.
Bear, what's this LSD like then?
LSD, I haven't touched the stuff myself for a while. Like I said, I'm not sure. I've had it stashed in the attic for some years.
Right.
But it will be good.
I don't know if you knew this. Hush. But I used to be the doctor here before Mr. Phillips came along. But, my methods were a little avant-garde. Mostly just LSD and amputation.
Interesting. I think my father worked for you.
What was your father's name?
Bear Senior.
Oh, Old Man Bear. Yes, I met him once or twice. Yes, never worked for me. You look a lot like him, actually.
The beard and
the hair, yes, and the face.
Generally. And that is the end of your interaction. Everyone come on back.
I think we learned a lot, Bear. Thank you.
Yes, having a look here. Sven Gali on Periscope asks me a question. What's wrong with my more cowbell comment? Just scrolling back, I see that Sven Gali said more vocal jar or cowbell. So in answer to your question of what's wrong with your more cowbell comment, I didn't understand the purpose of it. But we appreciate the comment anyway. Bear Bear also says, Andrew named himself Bear Bear. Identity theft. And he says, well, luckily for Andrew, he gets away with it. I added the wink, though. So, with this, it is now going to be voting time. Audience, please, put into the comments section now as quick as you can. Vote. Who do you suspect is the werewolf? Vote now and save us. Whilst we do this, we're going to ask each of the other living characters who they think is the wolf, because we're going to have an execution perhaps tonight. Starting with Dr. Colin Phillips. Who do you vote as being the werewolf?
Well, I have to say, I've been looking at Ernest for a while. I think there's something fishy about him. I think he murdered my daughter.
Interesting stuff. Ernest, who would you like to kill tonight?
After that, I kind of want to kill the doctor, but I don't know. I think, so what you put in my drink last night, he was after killing someone. I think Bear Bear.
Okay, Bear Bear, you have been marked by Ernest there. Next up, unfortunately, we cannot come to poor Millie as she is dead, and the dead cannot vote unless we're in a tie-break situation, but we will come to Philip Diamond next. Yes. Who do you vote to kill?
Oh, I get to vote to kill somebody. Well, this is a first for
Or
me.
who do you suspect of being the werewolf?
Well, I'm just comprehending the fact that werewolves exist now. This is kind of huge for me. But if I had to choose somebody, I don't know. I guess the librarian. Something about her has some creepiness to her. I guess she could be a werewolf, but maybe the more obvious choice is the guy with the beard. But I'm going to go with the librarian first.
There are 5 guys with beards.
Yes. Next up, Morty. Who would you like to vote against?
Philip Diamond!
What?
Philip Diamond, you have been marked by Morty there. Next up, we're going to come to Old Man Whistlesnail. Please vote now.
Well, I don't trust Dr. Phillips. Never have, never will.
Okay, interesting stuff.
I don't think he's even a real doctor, much like Dr. Doom.
Interesting. Very interesting. And then we have to come to, if I can see the numbers, Ms. Jessamine Grumpthrottle. Who do you vote to?
Well, I do not like being accused. I was simply in my library, so like for like, I will accuse Philip Diamond of being the werewolf.
Okay, so with that, last of all, we have to come to Bear Bear. Who do you suspect of being the werewolf?
A few suspicions, but Dr. Colin Phillips, plus he looks like a South Park character.
Okay, Dr. Colin Phillips. So, we have all voted here, and we're going to have a quick look over at the comment section from the audience, and let's see who we have got votes against here. Bear Bear says, Andrew is my son. That wasn't a vote, but it's just an interesting piece of information.
Hi, Dad.
Okay, let's have a look.
Know, but now I know.
Bear Bear says Dave. So that would be a vote against, I believe, Ernest. Sophie J says Bear Bear. Max says Dr. Colin. Nikki says still the librarian lady. Sienna says naughty, but I think she means Morty from the spelling of it. But maybe Morty is naughty, we'll find out. Dodgy librarian looks shifty. She's werewolf.
You do have a name.
Well, this is just their comments.
Wait, what is it?
Ernest, I vote. Oh, hang on. Bear Bear says Ernest, I vote for you. So that is against that. Philip Diamond says Janie. Dr. Phillips says Michael. Okay, I've lost track. There's a lot. We
Philip
don't.
Diamond says Jamie.
I said Janie?
Wait, Janie
I
says
say
Philip
Janie?
Diamond. Bear Bear, shut up. Right, okay, so help me put up a finger if you've got a vote. I'm just going to read through them again. So, I'm going to read through them again. Dr. Philip, Philip Diamond, Ernest, Dodgy Librarian, Morty, Librarian, Dr. Colin, Bear Bear. Okay, who's got the most votes there? So between Jessamine and Dr. Colin Phillips, you both have 2. So the dead, R.I.P. Millennial, between Dr. Colin Phillips and Ms. Jessamine Grumpthrottle, who do you cast the vote for here?
Well, I mean, who reads books anymore? I think Jessamine Grumpthrottle has to go.
Jessamine Grumpthrottle. So this is a very interesting situation, because that has now meant that looking at the votes, with the audience votes counting as a vote equal to each of yours, Dr. Phil has 2 votes against him. And then we've got 2 votes once again against Jessamine. 2 votes against Jessamine, 2 votes against Dr. Colin Phillips. This will once again mean that the dead have to vote to try and decide here. Are you going to stick with your same thought that you just had, or are you going to change it?
Well, millennials can be fickle, but no, I am going to kill the librarian.
So you are voting to kill the librarian. Jessamine, you have been marked for death by your fellow villagers, and we now need to select someone. Someone, volunteer yourself. Who would like to execute Jessamine?
I'll do it.
Old Man Whistlesnail and Bongo. Everyone else, please switch off your camera view. We are going to have this execution, and there will be a 30-second interaction. By the end of it, Jessamine, you will either have to use one of the 3 remaining protection spells to save yourself, in which case you'll give yourself another day to try and prove if you are innocent, or Old Man Whistlesnail will take your life. Let the 30-second interaction begin.
Now, Miss Grumpthrottle, I'm sorry to have to do this. It's not a pleasant job.
Stop. There's no need for this at all. You realise this? This has all been a coup. All I do is give out books, and to the children and stuff. This is beyond too far.
Very good at you are too, but I'm afraid if cold-blooded murder is what the village wants...
No, there is something more at risk.
5 seconds left.
Men. I say save me. There are 5 men here with beards, and you pick the one woman who runs a library? Very bad.
And with that, I can say, Jessamine, you have taken a protection spell, and perhaps you were the wolf, perhaps you were not the wolf, but you have protected your life. Everyone come on back.
Just stick.
Where we have half of our protection spells are now gone. Now there will be another night phase, so everyone, it's Betty Bye's time. Let's hope we all make it back alive. So, audience.
Better about this in the morning. Night, everyone. Sleep well.
Yes, it is now the night phase once more. Audience, in a second, the person who is the werewolf will communicate with me and me alone who they would like to take as their next victim. I can also say that within the next minute or so, or well, until it becomes daytime again, if anyone else would like protection, they would have to let me know, because, hang on, I can hear some rustling in the trees. Okay, it is now daytime. Everybody, wakey. It's another very rainy morning. And having a look at things, having a look at the situation we are currently in, I can say that it's been quite a night of activity. I don't think there was much sleeping going on, because
I can speak.
You can speak. But I can reveal now that, my goodness, we have had... Let me just check this. We have had a death, I'm afraid to say. I can also reveal that not just one, but the remaining 2 protection spells have been claimed and used. Oh my gosh, the protection spells are all gone. Yeah, so from this point on, there's only going to be executions and killings by werewolves. But before we get on, I can say that there's even more bad magic, because I can also reveal...
Magic!
Morty, unfortunately, someone has got some bad curses after you. With a roll of the dice, you have been cursed a second day in a row.
Don't do this to me!
And I can reveal that on this particular day, you have been cursed that for the remainder of this day, you will only be able to communicate in song. If you try to break this curse at any point, then unfortunately you'll be cursed with silence. But I must reveal right now, someone took out Bear Bear. Bear Bear, you have been killed. From beyond the grave, drinking your Coke Zero. How do you feel?
I feel alright, to be honest. I mean, why not?
Okay, so now going in reverse order, it is once going to be time to ask some questions. Starting from beyond the grave, poor Bear Bear, who would you like to ask one question to?
Jessamine.
Yes, my dear.
I just found it interesting that just before you got executed, you asked for a protection spell.
I did. I feel that I was accused of something that is simply not true. An audience, an angry mob, when quite frankly there are other things at play here. You sold LSD to the deceased. There are 2 doctors fighting for crows, and I am just a librarian giving out books. Why would you kill off a librarian who gives out books?
I don't know.
Okay, Jessamine, is now your turn. Who would you like to ask a question to?
I'd like to ask a question to Dr. Colin Phillips.
Yes, dear.
Dr. Phillips, you may have, as you've said, it's been about a week since people have visited you here. Now tell us, let's be real here. You were struck off the health records, weren't you? You're not a real doctor anymore.
That incident took place 2 years ago. I am still trying to get my license back, but apart from Old Man Gold Snake, I'm the only person here with any medical experience. So they allowed me to stay working in the residency.
Okay.
Any medical experience.
Interesting stuff. We have had some questions from the audience already. Bear Bear asks, "Hey Ernest, do you do kids' science parties? You look like you do."
I might resemble someone who does, but no, not when I'm not in condition to do anything to do with science and chemistry these days.
Okay. So, next up we are going to come to Old Man Whistlesnail. Who would you like to ask a question to?
I would like to ask Ernest a few questions, if I may. Ernest, yesterday evening, as I was snoozing, I happened to look out of my hole, and I believe I saw you in the buff, dancing around like a fool.
Right. What?
Is this true?
Well, I mean, you know, this stuff is very powerful, and quite frankly, it's I've been known to do a little Tinkerbell every now and then, and
I can clearly see the full Tinkerbell, if you know what I mean.
Well, you certainly saw the end of it, I bet.
Yes,
Okay.
maybe just tell
Next up, we're going to
You should know
come.
where I was, huh?
Yes. Next up, we're going to come to Morty. Who would you like to ask your question to?
I would like to ask Old Man with the snail.
You have the voice of an angel, Morty.
You flatter me, but why were you mad when they gave me the part of Santa last year?
I was a little put out, that's true. I've always wanted to play Santa Claus, but the smell puts everyone off. And so, yes, I'm still rather annoyed about it. But you were a very good Santa Claus.
Okay, next up, we will come to Morty. Who do you... Oh, no, you've already asked your question. Next up, we'll come to Philip Diamond from Rhode Island. Who would you like to ask your question to?
Let's see. Well, who would... how about Morty?
Go for it.
Okay. Morty. Have you ever come across a beast in the forest by yourself in the past?
I have, but it was experimental days of college.
You were experimenting with animals in the forest? Is that
In
in college? Oh, okay.
Okay, from beyond the grave, Millie Enniel, who would you like to ask a question to?
Again, I'd like to speak to the librarian, please. And, yes, how does it feel to be the only woman in the village? Have you noticed that?
I have noticed that, my dear. So of course, that is the reason I saved myself last. I hate, when men domineer the conversation.
And when other women are in the village.
Yeah.
Yes. The success of this inbred village depends on your survival, perhaps. But
just a lot of men with beards.
It is. But next up, we are going to come to Ernest. Who would you like to ask a question to?
I'm wondering why I don't have a beard. I'd like to ask a question. Dr. Colin Phillips, you mentioned the incident a moment ago in your answer. I just wanted to ask, can you please just not remind me of that incident, okay? Just remember who tried to help you and consequences that they then suffered.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying.
I do. I thoroughly regret what happened to you, but at the same time, you shouldn't have been hanging around Bear.
That's
just senior.
Okay, and lastly, Dr. Colin Phillips, who would you like to ask a question to?
I would like to ask a question to... In fact, I'm going to ask a question right back at you, Ernest. Because I got to know, for the sake of the record, what was it that you did before you became the person that you are that helped me to stay working in medicine?
I want to know this too.
Me too.
And I.
Remember that? You remember the patient? You remember that patient?
Yes, the one that Will Snail picture, yes.
Yeah, you needed some experimental medicine for it. I got from Bear Senior.
Okay. Looking at the comments section, audience, you have asked a few questions here or there, given a few comments. JJ says, please ask Morty whether he's ever been in love.
Just once with the shifty librarian, but she rejected me, so she's dead to me.
Interesting. Okay, also Doggy Dog on YouTube says, can I ask a question? Yes, you can. That's the answer. No, if you have a question, by all means, put it into the comments section. Bear says, Morty, get off those drugs. Okay, with this, everyone has asked a question. We are now going to have 1 minute and 40 of open conversation. Try to find out. There is a wolf among you. You have 1 minute 40 to try and figure out some more clues. Take it away.
Morty, I just gotta say, you cannot hurry love, okay? You just have to wait. Okay?
Just ask a question. Dad, have you actually organised my funeral yet?
I mean, I've been trying to, honey, but, there's so much things I gotta consider, like what colour you want flowers to be, what colour you want the hearse, what...
Have a spare hole if you need it.
Doggo.
Is Bongo the only person you live with in that cave, Old Man Whittle Snail?
Well, Bongo's my bestest friend. He's been with me my entire life, yeah.
That bongo looks like a wild animal. I mean, if I didn't know any better, well, I mean, I wouldn't, because I just started learning about werewolves, but,
he is a bit
I have to say, when I examined the body of Bear Jr., I did see some suspicious, fur or hair on his body that did not belong to him.
That would make sense.
Well,
Is
it's
the
a werewolf,
hair look like it came from Rhode Island?
It's hard to say.
Trying to
'cause
rest in
I've
peace here.
never been to Rhode Island before.
Like Philip Diamond
I
from
think
Rhode
it
Island.
Oh, I see. You're accusing the tourist because I'm just a tourist. Well,
Surely your expertise, Dr. Phillips, for once in my life, but I believe Rhode Island hair, if you set it alight, it turns blue. I'm not sure if that's correct, though.
I would just like to say,
Rhode Island alike.
And
See if
that is the
happens.
end of this open period of conversation.
I would just like to say I was on a break with Morty. We would never think we're on a break.
So, we will have one final interaction, but first we have a couple more questions from the audience. Doggy Dog does ask their question and says, ask the doctor if he drinks vodka.
Was that aimed at me? I don't drink the vodka. I wash my hands with it because it's a good, antiseptic. Keeps my hands clean.
Interesting. Next up, Eva says, is Philip Diamond hiding wolf eyes behind those shades?
Oh no. My eyes are very sensitive to light. It's always been in my family. I actually, when I take them out, I just start squinting really badly, and these are also very prescription glasses, so I have to keep these on.
Okay.
Well, it's not that suspicious because I left my normal glasses back in Rhode Island. All I had were these prescription sunglasses. I do look creepy, I will give you that, but that's just one mistake that Philip Diamond made.
Okay, with this, I can say there will be one final interaction as decided by the roll of the dice. And that final interaction is going to be between Philip Diamond from Rhode Island and Morty. So, Philip Diamond and Morty, everyone else, take out their camera view. Old Man Whittlesnail, yep, there you go. And you have 1 minute. Take it away.
Why are you killing people?
You can't ask such a question because you don't know the truth or not. I'm just a tourist from Rhode Island here inspecting for new salt deposits.
Nobody's heard of you. What
Well,
are
of course
your
not.
credentials?
I mean, I'm from Rhode Island. I just came here because my buddies in the salt business told me that this village, of all villages, has the best salt deposits.
Your accent keeps slipping.
That's a Rhode Island thing, and you can't prove that that's not true.
Convenient.
Is it? Or is it maybe that I'm just actually telling the truth?
Defensive you are.
Okay, well, how about this? I'll take off my glasses to be the respectful one, and I'll look at you straight.
Oh, and that is the end of that interaction. We won't see what you were going to straight away do there. So everyone come on back. Audience, look at the notice board at the bottom of the screen. It is now voting time. Please vote now and save us. Who do you suspect of being the wolf? Put those votes into the comments section and we will tally them up and we will find out who you think is the wolf, and we will now find out who our fellow performers think are the wolf. Starting this time with Dr. Colin Phillips. Who do you vote against this time?
Well, after listening to everybody, I think I'm still going to vote for Ernest.
Ernest, you have a vote against you there. Ernest, who would you vote against?
It's not in person, obviously brought up the incident, but I still think that Dr. Colin Phillips is guilty. I mean, take a look at him now.
Okay, interesting stuff.
What you doing?
Unfortunately, the dead still are not able to vote during this day phase like this, so Millie, we will skip past you, and we will come to Philip Diamond from Rhode Island. Who do you suspect of being the wolf?
Well, I'm thinking back to my werewolf movie watching days, and I'll say that in Silver Bullet, the last person you suspect is usually the good figure of the town, so I'm just going to go with that logic and choose the doctor. I think he's the werewolf.
Okay. Next up, Morty, unfortunately, from Beyond the Grave, you are unable to vote. Wait, you're not dead, are you? Hang on, who's dead?
Bear.
Oh, Bear's dead. So sorry. You were cursed. That's why I was thinking of you. Morty, you can vote.
Good. I vote for that shifty guy from Rhode Island.
Okay. So that is vote there. Now we will go to Old Man Whittlesnail. Who do you vote to kill?
Well, I am very dubious about this whole salt deposit story, actually. So, in the name of our salt deposits, I'm going to have to vote for Philip Diamond over Rhode Island.
Philip Diamond over Rhode Island. You have a vote against you. Miss Jessamine Grumpthrottle, who do you vote against?
Well, as I've sort of made it clear, I do not. This whole doctor thing is really confusing for me. So I feel I have to go with my gut, and I have to say Dr. Collins gets my vote.
Dr. Collins.
Colin Phillips.
Sorry. Yes, of course. And unfortunately, Bear, you are in fact a dead man, so you cannot vote at this stage. So let's go over to the audience and see what the votes coming through are.
Remember Bear.
Okay, so Max, guys, help me tally these up. Max votes against Morty. JJ says, still suspect Ms. Jessamine, the dodgy librarian, and I do not have a beard. Sienna says Ernest. Nikki says Jessamine, still, sorry. Doggy Dog says the Viking, which I'm going to take as Old Man Whittlesnail. I'm going to interpret that.
How dare you?
Eva says Philip Diamond. Janie says Dr. Diamond. That's a confusing one.
I'm not a doctor.
He's not a doctor. Do you vote for Philip Diamond or do you vote for Dr. Colin Phillips? We're going to count that as a non-vote at the moment. Bear says Ernest. Michael says Colin. Any more votes coming through? We will leave it there. Okay, how many votes did you get, Ernest? 2. Jessamine, you got 2. And the others only got 1. So, starting with... Oh, hang on, we've got more votes coming through. Let's hold that thought then. We've got another vote for Ernest. We have another vote for Colin. So, that means, Ernest, you have been marked by the audience, so we do not need to have the dead to vote there. Ernest, you've got a vote against you. Which, looking at things, there are 2 votes against Ernest. There are 2 votes against Philip Diamond from Rhode Island. But there are 3 votes against Dr. Colin Phillips. My goodness, Dr. Colin, you have been marked for death. Would someone like to volunteer to be the executioner here? Okay, Ernest Best got in first. Ernest, you will carry out the deed. Unfortunately, Colin, there are no protection spells left. You have 30 seconds to die with dignity. And here you go. Do not reveal if you're the wolf at this stage.
Right, Dr. Colin, you've had this coming. You know you have. It's your fault I'm in this state, okay? You could have helped me. You didn't. You needed all that stuff to help that patient.
Well, to be fair, no one asked you to go to Bear Senior for your supply. That's why you got in trouble. And now you're taking it out on me. I understand. I'm not holding this against you at all.
Unfortunately, that's the thing. I mean, those sort of chemicals I got from Dr. Bear.
And that is the end of the 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I can say that the blood is splattering everywhere. However you chose to kill him, he is now dead. Everyone, come on back. Dr. Colin Phillips, from beyond the grave, communicate with us. Were you the werewolf?
No, I was not the werewolf.
Oh, a mistake has been made. There is blood on the hands of the villagers. Innocent blood has been spilled. So with that, we are now going to once again go into the night phase. Can everyone switch off their camera views? Audience.
Right, everyone. Pleasant dreams. Hope you don't die.
Audience. Good night, Morty. Audience, we are once again in the night phase. At this stage, I'd like just to take a moment to remind all of you that this is Revenge of the Werewolf from Extreme Improv. If you're enjoying the show, and forgiving to our technical hiccup from beginning of things here, do go over to youtube.com/Extreme Improv and click that subscribe button. Anyone can do it if they have a Gmail account or a YouTube account, and it takes about 10 seconds to do, but will help us a lot. With this...
someone plugging in the night.
I know. Oh, yabba dabba dog shit, what can I say? So, with this, I can say that I can hear some rustling in the bushes once more. Wakey, wakey, everyone, get up, rise and shine. It's another bright and beautiful day out there.
Oh, it's getting worse.
Oh, so everyone get the sleepy dust out their eyes. And first things first, I can say with no protection spells, there was some mischief. There are dark forces within the village, and I can now say...
Oh no. Maybe re-roll it if it's the same person.
Okay, I can reveal that from beyond the grave, unfortunately, Millennial, you have been cursed. Your lifeless body has had some curse, some voodoo magic done against it, and throughout the remainder of this day, you will only be able to communicate in song titles. You will only be able to communicate in song titles. So, but, unfortunately, I have some more bad news to share.
There's not been another death, has there?
There has. Old Man Whittlesnail. I can confirm there has been another death. Sorry, I really have to concentrate hard on this to communicate with you. But I'm so glad that I can hear you from beyond the grave, old man, because... unfortunately, during the night, Whittlesnail and that damn dog too were both slain.
Dog?
Yes.
Jog.
Bongo!
Bongo is dead, as is Old Man Whittlesnail. Normally I'd say this is a break of the rules, but it needed to happen. Right, so, first of all, Old Man Whittlesnail from beyond the grave, would you like to communicate to everyone what your thoughts are in the immediacy of finding out your death?
Well, I'm very sad to be dead now, but I hope you all have happy, full lives.
Am I seeing that correctly? I'm just too drunk.
I'm not sure. Now, we are going to start in reverse order, so... F you, Bear. Who would you like to ask a question to?
Oh, that's 6 feet under.
Well, it just read F you, Bear. Oh yeah, you're not number 6.
What are you asking?
Do you have a question for someone from beyond the grave?
Do I have a question for someone? Yeah, Philip Diamond. I know there's something about your story, the whole salt thing. It's just, I don't know, it doesn't quite add up. I mean, a small village.
What doesn't add up about the salt thing? Be specific.
Well, coming all the way from Rhode Island, a random small village in the UK.
Yes.
I mean,
Okay. Well,
out of everywhere in the world.
All right. Do you want me to be on the level here for you?
Yes.
Okay. Look. In Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and all these areas in the States, there is a very high cultivation of witchcraft and witch communities. Now, they are not all evil and they're not all bad, but they do like to purchase salt. Salt is a hot commodity in the witch community for obvious reasons. Now, I am here in the UK. I'm here to find some very specific types of salt that a complete and very confident customer of mine wanted to tell me that she's going to be using to curse her ex-boyfriend, and she's willing to pay me 2,000 American dollars. And she's paying for my flight out here. So there, now you have the whole story.
Okay, next up, we are going to come to Jessamine. Who do you have a question for?
For Mr. Ernest Best, if that's okay.
All right, I'll try and answer.
Ernest, darling, I know we've been friends for such a long time, but look, I know things have been tough for you. I really think you can go for that medical degree, but taking out 2 doctors, was it worth it?
My reputation as the local member of parliament was shattered by that man. No, I'm glad he's dead. I won't hold back. He deserved it. But my reputation would never, ever get back to that state. You know this. You've seen the press. You've seen the. You were there. You were there with me, and it's just, it's never going to get any better from here. So that's why I'm just trying to make it a little bit less painful for myself.
Okay, old man.
You also owe 20 quid in unpaid fines. I just thought I'd just let that.
Okay, old man Whittle-Slug. Who do you have a question for?
From beyond the grave, I would like to talk to Ernest Best.
Go for it.
Whittle-Slug.
Slug?
Nail.
Oh!
What?
Sorry, old man Whittle-Snail.
Can't quite hear it.
That's a terrible
What's
joke.
that man's name?
This is the ghost of Bongo. Ernest, you were prancing around naked outside the hole again, weren't you?
I don't remember doing it last night. There's someone trying to be me in the town. I'm sure. I was just at my usual place on the corner of the street, slumped down under my blankets and enjoying a nice little tiffle again. And if I was dancing, I don't know, maybe because I was joyous that the doctor had died.
Okay, next up, Morty. Without a curse, who do you have a question for?
I'm cursed. I can talk. I can be myself. I feel great. You know, this renowned self-awareness is inspired me to make a. All right, here I'm gonna do it. Jessamine.
Yes, Mr. Mortimer.
Jessamine.
I can hear.
Take me back.
Shh. We're in a library. I'll think about it.
Is that it?
Was that it? Okay, moving on.
Brutal.
Philip Diamond from Rhode Island, who do you have a question for?
Well, I'm just going to ask Morty straight up, now that he's no longer cursed. Morty, where are you from exactly? Because now I'm kind of suspicious on your end there, sir.
Oh, you suspicious of me? I'm from New York.
You just got...
No, there's no suspicion of where I'm from. I'm from New York, but I've been living in the UK for the longest.
Oh, you're like a neighbor of mine, because I go sometimes to New York City. So...
I don't know you, sir. Don't try to...
I don't know you either, but maybe we've maybe gone past each other on the train. Who knows?
Okay, having a look at the comment section, we've got several things come through. First of all, Morty, do you speak whale like Dory?
I don't know what that means.
Well, we'll try to figure that out. Let's have a look. What else we've got here? Doggy Dog says, no! That Vitch killed the Viking. That's what it says. Doggy Dog says, guy with the shades, do you drink whiskey?
Oh, yes, I do. Quite often.
I can believe
Suspicious.
it. Nikki Riches on Facebook says, Philip Diamond, salt reference, rub salt in the wounds. Could he be the werewolf?
No.
Okay. Ernest, Bear asks, where was you at the time of the murder?
Sorry, was that a question for me?
Yes, Ernest.
Sorry, say it again. I was.
Where was you at the time of the murder?
I already told you guys. I killed the doctor, as was the village's wont, and I was in the corner of the post office. So there's a nice little space there. I could put my blankets and everything, and I was called up. I mean, according to the old man, I was out drinking and dancing around naked again, but I don't recall that.
Okay. Lastly, from the comment section, I see Hannah McGowan has said, F you, Bear. You're basically saying you should go F yourself. Whatever floats your boat. So, with that, we will now come to From Beyond the Grave. Millie, who would you like to ask a question to?
Long, cool woman in black dress. I hate you. How will I know that you're hungry like a wolf?
Well, that is just accusations, my dear. I have only been in the library. I have sorted out the problems between the doctors. I think everything is going really well and a lot more quieter around this place. Don't you agree?
Okay.
Staying alive.
So, okay, next up, we've got another question come through. Well, a couple of things. Ernie, do you miss Eric?
My name's Ernest. I don't know the name Ernie.
Okay, fair
I'm gonna
enough.
call you Ernie.
Okay, next up, Bear says...
I'm not the fastest milkman in the West either.
Okay, the old man called out Ernest, and the next thing you know, he is dead. Ernest, sir, you on thin ice. That's what Bear says. And Hannah then clarifies Morecambe and Wise reference. But with that...
I got it.
Ernest, do you have a question for someone?
Stupid. Sorry?
Do you have a question? You can ask a question to anyone.
I'll ask a question to Jessamine then. She just said about things being more quiet around here. Is that is that your ideal situation, that you want the village to be so quiet because you want to off everyone?
Oh, Ernest, don't be so crude. No, just the library. I mean, I've had to deal with Morty and his proposals in the quiet section. I just need peace and quiet so I can shelve the books to the Dewey Decibel System and get the fines back. I'm sure you'd understand. You don't like loud noises, do you, Ernest?
Not this time of day, no.
No.
Okay, lastly, Dr. IP, Colin Phillips, D-R-I-P. It's almost like David Riley Pustansky, in fact. Who do you ask a question for?
Okay, so I would like to ask a question to the other Philip in the village, Philip Diamond from Rhode Island.
Yes, Doctor.
So you mentioned that there is a witch that is asking you for salt.
Yes.
Can you confirm, is it actually a witch or is it a wizard?
The way I've come to learn about this community is that women are witches, men can be considered wizards or warlocks. I'm still learning about the community, but ever since I started investing into the community and opening my salt shop in Providence, of all places, well, that'll do. That's it.
Okay, so we will now have 1 minute and 30 seconds of open conversation. Audience, pay close attention. Watch everyone's facial expressions. Listen to the tone of everyone's voice. See if you can identify anything, any body language, anything that gives you a clue. One of them is lying to you. One of them is a killer. One of them is the werewolf. You have 2 minutes. Take it away.
So, wait, just to me. So you said we was on a break?
We were on a break, Mr. Mortimer, yes.
So I got a chance.
You may. We might need to go on a couple more dates. We need to maybe increase your vocabulary or your reading lists, perhaps.
So you just want the two of you to be the only people in this village then? Is that your plan?
Listen, you finish your vodka, Ernest.
Yes, let the people talk here. Like, I feel really attacked, actually. Ever since a couple of nights ago, all it has been is men accusing me of being a woman with a strong, independent woman with her own business. And it's always men with biz. Exactly, Mortimer, thank you.
I loved it.
Miss Gumpfuddle, I never said anything like that.
No, but I appreciate we're not alone here. There is at least 4 other ghosts just hanging around, accusing me.
Is he talking about salt all the time? What is he with salt?
It's a great condiment to any
I
dish.
tell you what, I can give you some salt right now, and you could probably use it for a margarita, man, because you're...
Oh, I could see. You got anything?
Huh?
No,
I don't. You know what? I left my salt packet in my room upstairs.
Now, what good are you then?
Yeah.
All right, fine.
Tell me, Mr. Philip Diamond, what do you plan to do after all this? Are you going back? Are you going to stay here, open a salt business, or something more?
After you finish killing everybody.
Hey, I don't like the accusations, Morty. In fact, I'm going to go to my cinephile mind here. You know a film called An American Werewolf in London? Well, I'm not the only American here, and something tells me that Morty is an American.
I am.
That is the end of this period of interaction. We will have one final interaction before it becomes time to vote. We'll have one more opportunity to get clues on who may be the werewolf. Going by the roll of the dice, which has just happened, I can see that this interaction is going to be between Dr. Colin Phillips from Beyond the Grave with the first victim, Millie Ennial from Beyond the Grave. Let's see what's happening in the spirit realm. Just between you two for the final clues. Who do you think is the wolf?
Oh, my daughter, I didn't think I'd see you again, though I wish it were under better circumstances.
No time to pretend.
That's true. You know, I'm looking down at the mortal realm there. They're still fighting each other. They're still targeting the women. I think that's very unhealthy. What are your thoughts?
They're caught out there. I missed you, Daddy.
I miss you too. I'm so sorry I didn't get around to finishing the funeral before my own ensemble tonight. Maybe we could do something in the ethereal realm, you know, to make up for it.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
I'm sorry, but to be fair, you crashed the other one. I thought it was too soon to get you a new car.
Fast cars.
Exactly. It was not a fast car, but you insisted on going down the freeway.
And that is the end of that beautiful interaction. If there's one thing we've learned, it's even within death, there is no forgiveness. But everyone, come on back. Audience, look at their faces. It is now voting time. Please put into the comments as quickly as you can your vote for who you feel is the werewolf. We'll go around all of the surviving characters and ask them who they feel the werewolf is, and then we're going to have another execution as there are no protection spells left. So, starting things off, Dr. Colin Phillips from Beyond the Grave, you are not eligible to vote at this stage. So we're going to come to Ernest. Who would you like to vote off this time?
Well, I don't really trust this whole thing with Jessamine and Morty. I think they were in it together a little bit, but I think that's consciously. I think unconsciously, this salt man going on about how salty he is, and quite frankly, he's the hairiest of the ones that are still here. So I think it's Philip Diamond from Rhode Island.
Okay, interesting stuff. Once again, Millie from Beyond the Grave. You only got to vote early on, but you may yet get another opportunity, but that is not now. Philip, who do you vote to kill?
First of all, I am shocked and chagrined that he would go after my body hair. This is my hair, sir. How dare you? Now, I was going to vote for Ernest, but no, I'll vote for Ernest.
Okay, so that is a vote against Ernest. So, let's have a look. Morty, who do you vote against?
Oh man, everything in my vibe was telling me that it's Jessamine, but Philip Diamond, salt guy.
Philip Diamond, the salt guy. Next up, Old Man Whittlesnail. Unfortunately, Jesus is with you now, literally behind you. And the God of Rocks are looking down on this poor Viking. So we will skip past you, and we will come to Jessamine. Who do you vote to kill?
Oh, for me, well, it couldn't possibly be my Morty, no, not at all. I vote with my heart. I'm voting for Ernest.
Okay, that is a vote against Ernest. Bear, you are dead. You are unable to vote. Also, so we will look to the comments section to see what we've got. Guys, help me count up as we go along. We have a vote against Philip. We have a vote against the hipster with shades, which I'm going to interpret as Philip. Nikki Riches says, Jessamine or Philip Diamond, but I stick with Jessamine. Eva says Jessamine. Bear says Ernest. Eva's already voted, but says Jessamine playing the innocent victim. Is her innocence just an act? Wolf in sheep's clothing, perhaps.
Who said that?
Here we've got lots of votes coming through. Audience, I'm going to give you a few more seconds to vote. We've got another vote come through for Ernest. So there are votes still coming through. Another one for Ernest straight away. Another one for Philip. So we'll give it a 5-second count. I'm going to remind our audience that from Extreme Improv, there is going to be more shows next week on Wednesday and Thursday at 8:30 p.m. UK time, which is the Extreme Improv XStreamed show. We have a Friday matinee at 12 p.m. and next week at 8 p.m. on a Friday UK time, we're once again going to have the Revenge of the Werewolf. Having a look at the comments section, I'm going to say that is the end of the time there. So let's tally up. Who had the most votes there? 2 for Jessamine, 3 for Ernest, 3 for Philip. So between Ernest and Philip, we need a tie-break situation. So first of all, the dead will get to vote. First of all, Colin, between Philip and Ernest, who do you vote against?
Well, I'll just go there. I hope we can feel it in the air tonight, because I'm still gunning for Ernest. Okay, so that is a vote against Ernest. Next up on the dead list is, let's see, Millie. Who do you vote against there?
Cheap sunglasses.
So that
These are Ray-Bans.
That is a vote against Philip. This does not settle things. So next up, Philip's still alive, Mort is still alive. Old Man Whittlesnail, who do you vote against here?
Well, from up here in sassy heaven, I can't help but feel Philip Diamond from Rhode Island is to blame.
Philip Diamond from Rhode Island. Bear, you now have a vote which will decide where things are going at the moment.
Well, I did have my suspicions of Mr. Diamond, but Ernest, naked in the forest, a raging alcoholic, prone to blackouts. I mean...
Okay, so unfortunately that doesn't actually settle things. There were 2 votes apiece. 2 votes apiece, which doesn't untie things up. So we're going to have to come back to the dice. We're going to roll this to settle between Ernest and Philip. If I roll a 1 through 4, we will count that as being for Ernest. If we count 5 through 8, we will count that against Philip. And now I will give the roll. And I see that it is number 4. Ernest, you have been marked for death. So Ernest, you are now going to be dead here. So, who would like to, out of the surviving people, who would like to, with the dice in his hand as well. Okay, who would like to volunteer to kill Ernest out of the living?
Oh,
Philip.
Philip,
Thank you. It is down to you. Everyone else, take out their camera views. And now there will be a 30-second interaction. Do not reveal during this time if you are or are not the werewolf. And at this point, you will have 30 seconds by the end of this, at which time you must kill, and Ernest, you must die. Take it away.
Now, Ernest, for a special occasion such as this, I've made you a margarita, salt-rimmed.
Oh, thanks very much. Oh, you know what? I might as well go out while I'm doing the thing.
Cheers, right?
You know what, though? You're the tourist around here. You don't know. You don't call me Ernest, right? It's Mr. Best to you, okay? That's all you need to do, all right? I'll tell you some.
Oh my God! I love a good margarita. Ernest.
Okay, and at that point, I can say that everyone, come on back. Ernest is now dead. There are fewer and fewer living people still with us in the town. But we are going to go to night once again. Everyone, it's night time. So, audience, I like the backdrop of heaven there, Old Man Whittlesnail. But with this, I can say, audience, please put your thoughts into the comments. Give us your thoughts. The wolf is getting away with it. We have not been successful in identifying who is the werewolf as yet. So, I would like to just remind the werewolf that they need to communicate with me. So, that has now happened. So, and I can once again hear some strange noises from outside. And wakey wakey, everyone, rise and shine. Rise and shine, guys. There are fewer and fewer left with 0 protection spells. It feels like days and days ago since anyone was able to protect themselves in this poor village. I can look down and I can see that we have bad news. As Bear, as you are drifting away, I will roll the dice and I can reveal that there has been a curse placed on Philip Diamond. Philip Diamond, you have been cursed, and throughout the remainder of this day, you will only be able to communicate as if you are a goat. You will only be able to communicate as if you are a goat. That will be your only method of communication. But unfortunately, it's a really, truly bad day for you because you were murdered last night. But perhaps you have perhaps been reincarnated. Philip, will you please give your thoughts from beyond the grave?
David, are we allowed to know if Bestie was a werewolf?
Yeah, she's not want to ask me.
Oh wait, were you the werewolf?
No.
Okay, there you go.
I think we all gathered without you asking me.
But I think just for clarity...
Just for clarity, that's always useful.
It was not important, it's fine.
No, he wasn't. Oh dear. Right, he was not the werewolf. If he was the werewolf, then poor Philip Diamond would not have been slain during the night. Oh dear. Philip, from beyond the grave, do you want to communicate anything?
Meh.
Excellent stuff. So now in reverse order, this time starting with Bear. Who would you like to ask a question to?
Jessamine.
Yes,
I pronounced that correctly.
you did. Is that your question?
But you only get one question, and that is correct to point that out. So next up, we are going to come to Jessamine. Who do you have one question for?
Well, it's only because it happened to me last time we played this.
No, I know, it is the rule.
It is the rule. Of course, I have to ask it to the only person that's living, and my love, Morty. Morty, did you do all this for me?
Ooh.
What? Why would you think I'm a lover, not a killer? I was thinking the same thing of you.
The goat thing seems to be catching. But with that, we will now come to Old Man, Whittlesnail and Bongo. From beyond the grave, who do you have a question for?
I would like to talk to Philip Diamond from Rhode Island again. And I'd like to know, I've been speaking to God, and we'd both like to know, is this really worth it with all this salt? Is the salt worth it? It's just fucking salt. And don't reply in goat language.
He has to, I'm afraid, otherwise he'll be cursed with silence.
Oh.
Yeah.
There you go, it was worth it. Next up, Morty, who do you have a question for?
Of course, I got a question for Jasmine. Why would you try to accuse me? You know, this whole time I tried to protect you, and now you're accusing me. Why would you put that on me? That's my question.
Darling, of course I wouldn't do this. Like, I have just been fighting from the beginning just to keep my business alive, and all you seem to be doing is just talking in song and two-syllable words. Like, that was not much of a protection, my love.
Ooh.
I was cursed. I had no choice.
Okay. Looking at the comment section, audience, I'll remind you that if you'd like to ask any of the villagers questions, put them into the comment section now. And I see that Eva says, I reckon Jesamine's bite could be worse than her bark. And Nikki says, I think it has to be Jessamine now. She calls you Jasmine, which is interesting.
Well, that is just...
There's someone else, I know. Next up, Philip Diamond from Rhode Island Beyond the Grave. Who would you like to ask a question to?
Yeah.
Was it worth it?
Was what worth it?
That's my only question.
Yeah,
Accurate.
and what is it? What does it mean?
You got her answer. Is that your answer, Morty?
I don't know what he's referring to. You gotta be more specific. I don't know.
You know.
As this is the final day, that was his final interaction on this earth. And his answer was, you have to be more specific. So, next up, we will come to Millie Ennial from Beyond the Grave, our first victim. Your rotting corpse is starting to smell up the place. Who would you like to ask a question to?
Librarian, have you ever read the La Muerta Lenta?
Oh, of course I have, dearie, but...
The Book of Murder?
Yes, of course. I have to know about these things.
Yes.
But it was taken out earlier this month. I don't know by who, though.
Ooh. Wow. Next up, Ernest. Past his best from Beyond the Grave. We do care whether or not you were the wolf, even if we don't always ask. But, do you have a question for someone?
First of all, I'll say it's nice to see a bear from Beyond the Grave reincarnating into his true image. But I got to ask, Morty, you're so in love with Jessamine, would you kill for her?
Well, you know, killing is subjective, right? You can be a comedian. You can be a comedian, and you can kill on stage, right? So, yeah.
Okay, and lastly at this stage, Dr. Colin Phillips, who do you have a question for?
I have a question for Jessamine.
Yes, Doctor.
Was it worth it? Killing everyone?
Well, no, because I didn't kill everyone, did I?
Not yet.
No, Ernest killed me.
Okay. Right, looking over at the comments section, we have a question or two more. Morty, why do you like specifics?
It's a PC world. You gotta be specific. You don't want to offend anybody, right?
Okay, fair enough. Any more? Yes, we have one more. It just says Ms. So Ms. Jessamine, I'm going to assume that's for. What is
not my name.
What is your favourite book?
My favourite book? Oh, well, I do quite like... Oh, introductions to runes and moon phases, yes.
The Very
That's a
Hungry
good
Caterpillar,
one.
you say? I like that book too.
Sure, I'll go with that.
Okay, so with this, there will now be 1 minute and 20 seconds of open discussion. Try to uncover who is the wolf.
Morty, did you say that you can't be specific in PC world?
It's a PC world. Politically correct.
Oh, yes, let's clear that up. Carry on.
This is to both of the remaining alive people. Who died second?
In terms of what, sorry?
Who died
In
second? Who was the second person to be killed?
In the world?
In the village, darling, in the village.
By wolf or by execution?
I feel that you're both dragging this question out way too long.
Well, I'll only go if Morty goes at the same time as
Well,
well.
there was one person, the only person who protected themselves from being killed earlier.
Indeed. And that was the librarian.
But remember, that was the first day when I was being ganged up on, and I feel as an independent woman who looks after her own business, it felt uncouth and unnecessary.
You could have just
You
let
broke
yourself
it.
die and have your memory live on and be a thing.
We're all going to die at some time.
But
Hey,
why
hey,
me?
Hey, lay off of her. Lay off of her. Yeah, she's
Thank you,
an
Morty.
independent woman.
Why are you so protective of a sudden? Oh, okay, so you're protecting her because you really actually want to kill her
What?
Morty, is that true?
Don't put words in my mouth. I didn't say that.
And that is the end of that interaction as Bear Bear is in the mystery machine and Dr. Colin Phillips is in the graveyard. And Millie Enniel is apparently in the TARDIS, I'm not quite sure. We will have one final interaction which will give final clues, final thoughts, final opportunities to reveal. One of you, there are two people still alive. That is very scary, Dave. Right, two of you are still alive. One of you knows for a fact that you are not the wolf. One of you knows for a fact that you are lying to everyone else here. So, the final interaction will, at this stage, be between Ernest from Beyond the Grave, along with Ms. Jessamine. These are the final two that have not had a individual scene. Let's see what this interaction brings up. You have 1 minute. Take it away.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I didn't once try to kill you, didn't try to accuse you or anything like that, so, you can talk to me.
Just ever since he went off on his proposal and I said we were on a break and then he's just... I'm so sorry. I had to choose between my career and my love, and I feel like I've made the wrong choice.
So, I mean, I still think this whole quiet thing, though, is just, it goes beyond the library, in my opinion. I think you just want the entire village to be quiet, and the best way of being quiet is by...
It's just from HR on high. They always say, follow the rules and stuff. So I have to live up to this expectation. We were going to have inspections next week, and now it's all in ruins.
Don't talk to me about inspections.
Well, you get it. And now the person I love has been murdering all of my friends, and I don't know what to do.
See, that's the thing, though. Yeah, I know you think that, but it's just not.
That's the end of this interaction, I'm afraid. Everyone come back. We have moved towards night. So, looking at the comment section, audience, give us any final thoughts you may have. Just as we look at this, I'll see that Aisha Sharma, hello Aisha, says, my feelings for you. Died second, babe. I don't know what that refers to, but we appreciate the comment. But with this, it is now voting time. Audience, vote now and save us. Either Ms. Jessamine Grumpthrottle is the werewolf, or Morty is the werewolf. One of them is lying. The other one knows that the other one is the wolf. There is no doubt now. The person who is not the wolf knows who the other is. Who do you believe? Let's look in their eyes just for a moment. Everyone, look at Morty. Is Morty telling the truth? Or is behind this grey fur there a wolf? Or do we have Miss Jessamine here? Look at those eyes. Is this the face of a werewolf? Have a look there. It is now voting time. Put your votes into the comments section now, and we will first go through everyone. Dr. Colin Phillips, who do you vote for?
You know, I gotta say it's Jessamine. I'm sorry.
Okay. That is a vote against Jessamine. Next up, from beyond the grave, the dead will now vote. I didn't mention. Ernest, past his best. Who do you vote to kill?
I think it was Morty.
Oh, Morty, you have a vote against you there. R.I.P. Millennial. From beyond the grave, who do you think is the werewolf?
Librarian.
It's another vote against Jessamine. Philip Diamond from Rhode Island. Who do you vote to kill?
Morty.
Okay, it's a vote against Morty. Next up, Morty. Who do you vote against here?
Oh man, I don't want to do it, but I don't want to kill myself. I gotta vote for
It is an
my
option. Okay, you vote
for
against.
my love, Jessamine. I'm sorry.
Okay, R.I.P. Old Man Whittlesnail and Bongo. Who do you vote for?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Well, I think, looking at this from upon high,
Yeah.
that this may have all been just a big misunderstanding.
Okay.
However, Morty. It has to be Morty. I'm sorry, Morty, old boy, but your time's up, you murderer.
Okay, Ms. Jessamine Grumpthrottle, who do you vote against?
Well, Morty, I thought we were going to die together and both vote for each other. Like, vote for me and you. I gotta have to vote for you now because you vote for me, my love.
Right,
How could you?
I forgive you.
I forgive you.
I had no choice. You're the only one left.
You could have voted for yourself and we could have...
I love myself more.
What?
Okay, from beyond the grave, 6 feet under, F.U. Bear. Who do you vote for?
Oh, Morty, interestingly said I had no choice. So Morty.
Okay, that is a vote against Morty. Having a look at the comments now. Okay, hang on, let's have a look. So, some interesting stuff is coming through. Let's have a look.
Where are you getting these messages from?
Using my psychic connection to...
A PC!
Yes. A police constable is communicating them. A police constable is communicating them. You are right. Let's have a look here.
Why has he not been here sooner? We've been policing ourselves like fools.
Well, perhaps if one of you had decided to go into the law enforcement, you did choose your own career paths. Right, with this,
Very existential, you know.
everything you say is better when punctuated.
Let's kill him. I've had enough of him, frankly.
Whittlesnail, look, I see what you're doing here, and I agree. Everything you say is better when punctuated by a pipe.
Yes. And I think we ought to take you out as a village.
Right, okay. So, Bear says Scooby-Doo. That doesn't help us, but we'll read it anyway. Nikki says Jessamine. Guys, help me count these. Sienna says Morty is the wolf. Styles Clash says Morty. Eva says Jessamine Wolf Lady. Battlecat says Jessamine. Janie says Morty. Bear says Ernest for dead. He died ages ago. David on YouTube says Morty. Sophie on Twitch says Morty. Doggy Dogs says a swear word which is censored, but then it says maybe it is the guy with the beard, so that would be Morty. Sophie says Jessamine. Oh, hang on. Doggy Dog says change my mind. Librarian is a bitch. Unbelievable. I choose her. Wow, it's getting heated here. Farhead says Morty. So, that's where we're at now. What are they currently looking like?
6-5 Morty.
6-5 Morty. Doggy Dog says Bear. Keep the... Then it's a swear word again. Guys, stop swearing in the comments. It's getting a bit too... We're getting a bit too into this here. Farhead says, what a bunch of characters. Thank you all for making my evening entertaining. Oh, thank you. And would like to say, no matter who it is, you were all fun to watch. Thank you, guys. We appreciate that. We're going to give another 5 seconds to see if there are any more votes coming through. If you haven't voted, vote now and save us. This might make the difference. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No goat noise. And that is time. So, who had the most votes there? Morty. Having a look at the votes, the audience vote didn't actually make a difference either way, but it was exciting. So, Morty, you have been marked for death.
Oh, man.
As the only surviving person, your love, Miss Jessamine Grumpthrottle, you have to carry out the execution. At the end of this, we will reveal if Morty was the werewolf or not. We won't forget this time. And what we can say is if everyone else takes out their camera view... Okay, Dave. If everyone takes out their camera view, there will be a 30-second interaction.
Ernest.
Sorry, Ernest. I was speaking to myself. My name's David. Okay, and here you go.
You don't have to do it. Please. I love you.
I love you too, Morty.
Then don't do it. What are you doing?
Aunt, I have to do it.
Who says? Nobody says.
This
You have...
is the only way the village will be quiet.
What?
Yes.
I'll be quiet. I won't say anything.
No, you came and read in my library, and you shouted your proposal, and I told you to shh, and you didn't do it. You did all of this, and now I do it.
No. How are you gonna kill me?
Why?
With love?
Or a big book?
Woo! Is it the book of love?
Carry out the execution. Okay, everyone, come back. We now need to find out the truth. Morty. Are you frozen, Morty? You can hear Morty. There we are.
Am I frozen?
From beyond the grave, Morty.
Am I frozen still?
No, you're not. Morty, from beyond the grave. Please reveal. Were you the werewolf?
No.
No! So, once again, for the second time, the wolf has won the show. Well done there, Ms. Jessamine Grumpthrottle. Morty...
Well played, Grumpthrottle.
God, it's tense.
I'm going to tell all the witches about you.
Not
Okay.
anymore.
Audience, give us your thoughts. Did you identify who was the wolf? Did you suspect? Were you duped? Was Ms. Jessamine far smarter than anyone else here? How did she manage to make it all the way through to the end? There's lots of things we can talk about. We'll have a couple of minutes at the end where we're going to talk about this stuff. We'll read out some of your comments. But let's first hear from Ms. Jessamine Grumpthrottle. Fiona, how
Yes.
did you do it?
Through sheer luck and not panicking.
Now, if we all remember, you were the first to be offered up for execution.
Yes, that was terrifying.
Yep, I thought, I can say, because obviously we had a technical issue at the beginning, I thought we were going to have to have like a do-over, and I was like, oh, this show's going to be so short, because, yeah, and you managed, but Laura, Millennial, you were certain from the beginning. How could you tell?
Start. Because librarians hate millennials because we don't read books.
Right.
And she just had this look on her face, and I knew it was her. And every time I kept on saying, like, it's the librarian, no one listened to me.
No,
Because
people
no
did
one
listen
listens to
you.
millennials.
No, the audience listened to you. I was paying attention.
I did wonder why you killed me first, but, you know, I'll let it go.
Why did you choose her first?
It was literally, I just counted in my head and just picked a random number, and that's all it was. It was just number 3.
Ah.
It wasn't a woman thing.
Oh, no, don't worry. But
No,
I thought
know.
if I go down that route, it might make other people go, oh, yeah, women hate women. Let's get her out.
Interesting social experiment we're getting into here. Right, Morty, you made it all the way to the end. Elkie.
I did.
You did.
Oh, did you have a question for
Well,
me?
any thoughts? Anything you want to share? Any tactics?
You know, I gotta say, I thought it was the librarian from the beginning too, but I created this storyline, so I had to shift, and I shifted it to that salty-ass guy from Rhode Island.
Ah, interesting stuff. Obviously, Philip,
We made it to the end!
Yeah. Did make it to the end. Philip, you were under suspicion quite a lot throughout there. Why do you think everyone was looking at you? You're not cursed anymore necessarily.
Subtitle: Am I still cursed?
No.
Okay, good. What was the question?
I don't remember.
Okay,
but do you want to give
well,
any thoughts?
I died. I didn't make it, so.
Yes.
Why do you think we hated you all?
Yeah, that was the question.
Oh, why did you think you hated me? Because of the salt, probably. I mean, I looked very suspicious. I don't take these off, but I told you they were prescriptions. I wasn't lying. And now I got a free trip to the UK out of it, but I died.
Okay. Anyone else with any thoughts and stuff along the way? Who did you suspect? Guys, no, I'm gonna call you all out here now, because this happens every single week. We get to the end bit, and we did the first show. We did the first show, and everyone was like, "Oh, we should have the post-show chat as part of the show." And every show since, everyone just sits there staring. Say stuff.
I was literally about to answer, David.
Go for it, Ernest.
I think being the drunk sort of a character, I think with passing out and all that sort of stuff, I think that sort of like lent a bit of a sort of an eye towards my character, just because of the links in that particular thing. But it's difficult when you're like not there and you're also sort of like trying to find a story and all that sort of thing. So you just try and think, well, I'm not the werewolf. I don't want people to vote for me, but I also don't want them to like not notice me, you know. And so you're there. So you are kind of happy that you are getting a vote, but you're also like, oh, I don't want to like die.
Yeah.
We were lucky you didn't have a beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't have a beard.
I might have worked against me. Everyone else having a beard.
I try and play on people's sympathy with a dog, but it doesn't work.
I got rid of that dog.
Okay, having a quick look at the comments, some stuff that we can respond to perhaps. Bear's given a few thoughts. Bear says, well, I just want to keep voting against Ernest, because obviously he was voting against Ernest after you were dead. And then Bear says, wow, right evil bitch. I agree with what Doggy Dog said earlier.
Andrew, don't be so rude to her.
I know. Guys, they're characters. They're characters.
That man has never returned a library book. Just saying.
Yeah, just saying. Guys, remember, like, we may be portraying characters, but underneath we're people. And, you know, Fiona, you seem a very nice person, so... You know.
until you return, until you got if you got books you need to return, then it's just gonna be mean from now on. So
I'm really confused. Are you actually a librarian?
No.
Okay. Right. Okay.
I just feel strongly.
Yeah. Bear says Morty obviously. What? No. Okay, guys. Right, we're getting too into the characters here. Nikki says yay, because I believe Nikki in the comments was very adamant that it was Jessamine. Bear says Andrew, stellar performance as always. Right. Then Doggy Dog says, real quick, which one is Andrew? And Bear responds, the great one. And then Bear says, then Doggy Dog says, who is Elkie? So Elkie was Morty, and then says, "Who is the guy in universe?" We can't describe every actor, right? Nikki says, "Another fab evening, guys. Thank you so much. Third Revenge of the Werewolf experience, and always fun and different. Yes, different cast of characters, different scenarios each time." Bear says, Dave, do you happen to do science kids parties? You look like you do. Oh dear. Right. And then at the end, Bear says, nice graveyard, Danny. So there you go. So, any other thoughts, any other stuff you guys want to reveal about the process? I, once again, almost gave it away because I forgot and thought that Morty was dead. That should have been a big giveaway along the way, guys. I forgot. I thought that Morty... I thought Morty was dead. I said from beyond the grave, Morty, when it was Bear that was dead. And that should have told you that if... You know, I would have known who the wolf was. So I almost gave it away again.
I thought that, but I thought that was a trick.
No, I swear I would not try to trick you. But anyway.
You just wanted another pizza slice.
Also, it couldn't have been me since you forgot all about me as soon as I
Yeah, it's true.
Well, but by that stage it wouldn't have mattered because you were already dead. So either the game was over or we were continuing.
What a reveal.
No, I do apologise. Right, guys, let's find out where you can find everyone on social media. And we'll do this in order with Dr. Colin Phillips. Where can the people find you?
So you can usually find me on here, like sometimes once a week. I'm also part of the Portsmouth Improv Experience. I think we're doing a show, I'm sure it's the 21st of September. I might have to double check that and get back to you the next time I'm on here. I'm very sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Also, Danny, I look to the side for a second. I come back. You're getting half naked. What's going on? Right. I know, right. Next up, Ernest passed his best. Dave, where can everyone find you?
You can find me. Let me just bring up my virtual backgrounds. You can find me. I do children's science parties. Funny enough. Hey. Through sciencebuffins.co.uk and sublimescience.com. You can also find me social media wise here at Degrino at D_Anthony_Green and Dave Anderson Green everywhere else. You can also find me this Sunday on Jonathan, who's been on the Extreme Improv shows in the past. We're doing a show on Sunday called the Improvised Wrestling episode, where we've got about 20 or so improvisers in 3 different teams doing something. I don't actually know at all what the format is, but it should be
I'm also part of that as well.
Yes, and Danny will be there as well.
Danny will be there as well.
That's Sunday at 6 BST. And also Southend 24-hour improvathon, which we'll be doing in 2 Fridays' time. So this time next week it'll be underway, and so the 25th and 26th of September in Southend. If you're Southend local, please do come along and get tickets. They're available now, and follow Southend 24thon for all the info.
Okay, just looking at all of our performers again, I see that everyone is just getting changed in front of the audience. Everyone's changed their appearance, but next up, there you go, Morty as well. But Laura, where can the people find you?
Yeah, Facebook and Instagram as Laura H_improviser with an ER or an OR on the end, depending on where you live. And if you have insomnia or just want to stay up until 1 a.m. this morning, which is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be performing with Improv Chattanooga in our 1-star review show.
Amazing. Where you were the first official international improviser.
Yes, and Alan is the second.
Yes.
Second.
Okay, next up, we're going to come to Aaron from ATL. Where can the people find you?
Hey, everybody. Yes, my name is Aaron. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. And you can find me on Instagram at AAPROD. And I just started a podcast that'll be launching in October. It's an improvised podcast called Real Time Comedy. And you can follow that on Instagram at REEL Time Comedy. And it's where improvisers and me will come on and watch a movie that we've never seen before on mute, and we're going to re-record new dialogue and score in real time.
Oh, wow.
Amazing. Okay.
Yes, if you're interested, send me a private message and I'll send you the doodle.
100%.
Yeah. And every Wednesday at 9:30 East Coast time, I host Mining for Gold Improv Jam. And we'll be back next Wednesday. We took a week off. And if you want to sign up for that, every Thursday at noon East Coast time is the sign up. The first 20 people to sign up as going will be the cast for next week. And if you get there too late, sign up as interested, and that'll put you on standby. And we do go through standby.
Okay. Next up, Elkie. Where can the people find you?
Hello. So you can find me at Elkie TV at I can't even talk. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, everything. Elkie TV.
Amazing, thank you, Elkie. Next up, Old Man, Whittle Snail, and Bongo the Dog, aka Al. Where can the people find you?
Hello, people can find me as I'm one half of normally scripted double acts, The Electric Head, but we also do some improv and just turn up here and there generally. But The Electric Head podcast is out every Monday, and we talk science and supernatural, and we time travel and various other things. We do time travel, yeah. This week I free the PG Tips monkeys, and I think before that we met King Arthur.
Love it.
But yeah, and I'm also on the Improv Chattanooga show tonight, which should be fun. I also want to plug, this is not improv related, but if any Doctor Who fans out there, this is a charity book, which I have a story in. So if anyone wants to go to Chinbeard Books, it's for a good cause, so I thought I'd mention that there.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. We love a bit of Doctor Who.
Indeed.
So, next up, Fiona, where can the people find you?
Oh my goodness, it's me. Hello. So I'm an improviser. You'll see me wrap bits and pieces around, but most importantly, I am the host and regular GM for What Am I Rolling, which is a twice-monthly RPG one-shot podcast where we play all sorts of things like Dungeons and Dragons, Fate, Star Wars, you name it. If you're more into just single sort of Dungeons and Dragons, I also run the DM's Book Club or the Dungeon Masters Book Club, where every week me and my co-host we read a bit of Dungeons and Dragons and just discuss it in a book club format. So that's What Am I Rolling and the DM's Book Club.
Amazing. And next up, Andrew, where can everyone find you?
Well, I have no public social media. So if you're a wrestling fan, WWE, you might find me in the Thunderdome for SmackDown tonight.
What? I'm so jealous. I keep trying to get there. Right, anyway.
I registered and got a link, but I don't know how it works. So
okay.
It happens.
Right, so that's very cool.
At some point.
Yeah, no, that's very, very cool. So, my name is David Pustansky. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at David Pustansky. I have also written a book which is called The Extreme Improv Big Book of Improv Games, and it will teach you how to play over 100 short-form improv games, and it has hundreds of pro tips, illustrations, and some other cool stuff, including stuff on virtual improv. Doesn't say about how to play the Werewolf game, but that might come out in a later edition. So, with that, guys, for Extreme Improv, do go over to youtube.com/Extreme Improv if you like the show, and click the subscribe button just below. If anyone with a YouTube or Gmail account will be able to do it, and it will only take about 10 seconds, even if you're watching us on Facebook or whatever, it all helps. We're on twitch.tv/Extreme Improv. We've got loads more shows coming up, too many to list. Let's have a last look at the comments section, and here I see Bear says... actually, Bear says, Dave, I won't let you forget. That's that you do science parties, so don't worry. Bear's got your back.
That.
Yeah.
I better not forget it. I've got a gig tomorrow, so.
Okay. Doggy Dog says, Dr. Phillips, we love you. Can I drink your vodka? Bear asks, Elkie, are you on Twitch or YouTube?
Twitter and YouTube, yes.
Are you on Twitch though?
Twitch, no.
Okay. So, and that's at Elkie TV, if you want to find
yes.
Elkie. Bear says, Andrew, get Twitch and YouTube. We all know you are better than David and the others. Thanks, man. Right, okay. But something I'm suspicious of. So, we've had some interesting comments from Bear. Now we've had interesting comments from Doggy Dog. Bear, Dog. I'm noticing a pattern here. We all know that all of these are all Andrew anyway. But regardless of that, guys, until next time, this has been Revenge of the Werewolf. Do check out everything Extreme Improv. I want to thank all of the amazing performers who have done the show tonight. We'll have another show next week. So from me and from everyone else, stay safe, stay happy, watch out for werewolves, and stay extremed. Bye, everyone. Bye now. And we are off the air. Excellent. Woo! Woo!
David, I see you are now the third international member of Improv Chattanooga.
Well, there, like, okay, so Diz had...
8 minutes ago. Wow.
As of 8 minutes ago?
As of 8 minutes ago, it's just been announced.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I did a podcast with Diz yesterday, and it did come up about my outburst, and I was like, I was only joking, so I don't know how it was characterized.
We did say you were joking and that you were fine with it, but I think it doesn't translate as well.
No, I know.
You have to constantly apologise now.
No.
What's the outburst?
I would say last week. No, you can tell it, Laura.
So last week, when David asked how they could find me, I said how I'm now the first international member of Improv Chattanooga.
And if I can interject, my reaction was, what?
David, you've been on their show though, haven't you? You've been on their stream.
I've been on there. I've been on like they've done.
He just hasn't been a regular like me and Al have.
I just haven't been invited. I failed my audition. Guys, that was a great show. Yeah, great show. Well done for jumping in. I know, and I do apologise, just especially with all the technical stuff at the beginning, that we didn't get to go over like the format properly. So well done for jumping in and entertaining us with your salt and everything. Salt of the earth, you are.
It's kind of like the same werewolf game I played with Dad's Garage. Just a little
You know they can still hear us, right, on the Facebook?
Oh.
Hi, everyone.
God, that audio.